Hello everybody on the 1st of November, first of a new month. Hope you either had some had some wonderful dreams yesterday and managed to indulge in some delicious chocolate. Start of a new month, a new era as we lead up to Christmas and the end of the year, the end of 2021. 2022 is going to be hopefully so much better. But what I want to do today, being the first of the month, I just want to have a quick look at a variety of areas of the world and just see what the feeling is on those areas of the world coming up for what's going to happen in those areas for the next month. Got interesting things happening in the US, politically, the UK with Brexit and supply chain issues, China with a retraction of its economy, Australia with a government that is still in climate change denial, and backed by the fossil fuel industries, and the Middle East as the vacuum of power has taken hold with the US leaving, and the countries that are organising to fill that vacuum in what I feel is a positive manner, not what we would necessarily pick in the West, but what will work for that region. So without further ado, because that's a lot of areas I want to cover, I will first of all welcome Meister. Guide us with your messages and wisdom. Okay, let's have a look. Thank you. Right, now, rather than just doing the month of November, I'm just going to do a lead up to end of the year. The US, overall, the US, oops, throwing cards at me everywhere. Okay, the Chariot, the Nine of Pentacles, things will happen rapidly. Nine of Pentacles is in regards to money. But the US, the overall, feeling is not the right word. The overall movement of the US, the overall Meister. So for each region, I'm just going to do a reduced Celtic cross unless I feel an absolute need to go further. The overall movement of the US, what's happening in the US, what will happen in the US as we reach the end of 2021. Been a difficult year. The US, the United States. The overall feeling of where we're heading as we reach the end of the year. Okay, let's have a look, see what the cards tell us. Right, we've got Signifier card, King of Pentacles. Okay. Kings are usually leaders, authority figures, mentors, wise mentors. And the King of Pentacles, he's already financially achieved. Now, a lot of readers have this as their trump card. So I'll just read further and see whether this is actually Trump or this is just an overall for the US. Challenged by the Star. Okay, so this is Trump. Challenged by the Star. Now the Star is hope and restorative. You can see pouring the two waters, one onto land and one onto into the ocean. It's a restorative figure and it is a respite figure. So what's going to happen is Trump's still going to be a feature in the US, but there is going to be some respite from him. King of Wands, this is my card for Biden. He is a diplomat, and he is a visionary. He's a visionary and an honourable man. So you've got Trump being challenged by restoration of the country, respite, Biden at the base, and the Wheel of Fortune. So this is the fates have turned. Crowning is the Ten of Pentacles, which is intergenerational money, but it can also mean the wealth of the country, the money being shared. Near future, Queen of Wands. So we've got the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Now the Queen of Wands is she's a very inspiring figure. She is self-aware, she is confident, and she brings passion and a plan. So wands are plans. So I'm thinking that this, crowning the reading, is the deals that Biden is trying to get through, the plans. Keep going with this. Five of Swords. Okay. So this is the near future. This is the immediate future. This is the here and now, basically. So we've got the betrayal, sabotage. Surrounding that is the Page of Cups. So this is messages, bombshell messages, things being revealed. So I'm thinking that this relates back to Trump. So this is the here and now. And you've got Judgment, which is an inevitable, but it's also a calling to arms. It's the collective. Two of Pentacles. It'll be a bit of a tightrope for a little while financially. There will be some serious negotiations taking place where certain parties will be felt like that they've been kept hostage, although they're not. But manifestation. And the base of the pack is the Fool, which is faith, courage, and new beginnings. Can also mean the youth, but I think in this terms it's faith, courage, new beginnings. So I see for the US, Biden's infrastructure bill, his voting bill. Excuse my hand there. The basis will get through. And all they need to do is get something through, show that it works, gain the trust and the faith of the people of the US, and then as they go through subsequent elections and get more authority in the House and the Congress due to people actually benefiting from these bills, they'll be able to put more through. But yes, I do see the major bills, the infrastructure bill, the voting rights bill, I think will be next year, but the infrastructure bill will go through in some form by Christmas, or at least there will be an understanding and an agreement on it. Okay, quick look at the UK. The United Kingdom broke away from the rest of Europe recently. They're finding it's not all a bed of roses that they thought it would be. Sadly, they were sort of misled by politicians that simplified it on them. It wasn't a case of, the Polish coming in and taking their jobs or whatever. Now they've realised how intertwined they were with Europe, how reliant they were on Europe for everything from their lorry drivers, we call them rigs and trucks here, but they're lorry drivers, they're big vehicles, they're couriers. So they're having supply chain issues. They're finding that they now no longer have access to fishing grounds that they once did under the EU. There's just all sorts of, they can't get builders. They just struggling on so many levels with consequences that we're not fully explained and not understood in the emotion of Brexit itself. So I just want to see, how is the UK going in the lead up to Christmas. I want to do a reading at some stage. Well, actually, no, I'll leave that for today. I want to read on whether the UK will re-enter Brexit, but if I try and do that today, we'll just end up with an hour-long video, so I'll do that as a different reading. See how we go today. The UK, the United Kingdom, finding, they're getting COVID's increasing. The National Health Service is holding its own, which is fabulous, and Ace of Swords has flown out. So this is realising the truth. It's also a new start. Reading a meaning for the Ace of Swords, which is not commonly used, but it does mean beware of the double-edged sword. So, sorry, I just got a head spin with that, which means that that's what Meister meant to be the meaning is Brexit, beware the double-edged sword. So let's continue with this. Europe leading up to the end of the year. Reviewing, reaping what you sowed, and reviewing the harvest. So basically just assessing the results. They are going to be at a crossroads. Twos are always a crossroads, where they're going to have to look at their future options in the past. The Page of Wands all pages are messengers, usually energetic. This was the skilled orator who sold you Brexit. The Eight of Cups, moving on from what is not serving you. In other words, moving towards a better future. The government is the future. The immediate future is the Two of Swords. So this is the truth, a difficult decision to be made with the truth being exposed. Surrounding that is the King of Cups. So these are the diplomats, the usually emotionally balanced. But I think what this is the UK leadership. Right, we've got the Hanged Man. Things are being seen from a different point of view. Can also mean the willing sacrifice, but I don't see it in this particular instance. I just see this as, okay, Brexit has occurred. As I said, it wasn't a bed of roses. They've realised that it isn't always puppy dogs and sugar candy, that there are some effects from Brexit that weren't considered, and they're now seeing it all from a different point of view. There's going to have to be a retreat in the decision making, in the intellect that was used, and the truth as it's reconsidered. Judgment again. So this is inevitability and a call to the collective. So this is an inevitable change. Two of Pentacles, so juggling financially. Base of the pack, burden, being left out in the cold. A murky underbelly being revealed. Loss. This is the Emperor is leadership, but unwavering leadership, having to review. Wheel of Fortune is the ending of a chapter, an opening of a new chapter of the illusions and delusions that were presented. It's not what it appears to be. Justice. So she is integrity, and the Tower card as the ultimate breaking down of old structures and rebuilding of the new. So the UK is going to face a situation where, now that Brexit has gone through, they need to make some very difficult decisions on what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and how they're going to rebuild themselves as a nation. They can't continue just as they did before, because it's obviously not working now that the effects of Brexit are obvious. It wasn't just a simple divorce and we both go our merry ways. There was a lot of intertwining that from all aspects, from agriculture to industry to finance to governments. On every level there was intertwining of Europe and Britain, and now they're just realising that it wasn't just a clean severing. There are issues that are coming to the fore, and they either need to reinvent themselves completely as a independent collection of countries as the UK, or they need to negotiate compromises with Europe. Yeah, and I suspect it's going to be the latter. The thing is that Europe has the strong hand at the moment. Europe is the one that has all the cards, all the marbles, all the everything stacked in their favour. So basically, between now and the end of the year, those in the UK are going to realise that it wasn't all what they thought it was going to be. Okay, quick look at China. Has had the collapse of a couple of major building companies, putting tariffs on a lot of countries around the world, especially Australia, on Australian goods to try and keep particular goods, overseas goods, out of their market, so that the locally produced, similar, often inferior product is what will be supplied. This goes from coal to wine to beef, fresh fruit and vegetables. China cannot produce enough for its own people. It is reliant on international trade. So it'll be interesting to see what their end game is, but at the moment they're trying to sabre rattle against the West, but also, as I've read on before, force the supply, production of their own products. What's also happening is they built themselves on the wealth of being the manufacturing hub of the world due to their low costs. As their population is moving into middle income society, their costs of manufacturing are going up. Automation is increasing, so therefore the jobs are not necessarily there that used to be there. Automation is increasing all around the world, so that is something that needs to be dealt with on a global scale. And India is now, in the Indian region, the subcontinent is now moving in as the major manufacturing area of the world. So there's a lot of issues facing China at the moment. I just want to see, how is China? Is there anything that's dramatic we need to know about China between the now and the end of 2021? Is there anything dramatic we need to know? How is China travelling between now and the end of 2021? Right, let's have a quick look. Entertainment purposes only. Okay, it's feeling itself embattled. And also loss. Embattled and lost. So what's happening here is even though there are these cups still upright, they're not seeing them for what they are. They're feeling as though they have been forced into a situation. base of the pack, 3 of Cups, circles of support. So the support for China is there. In the past. So this is the global, this is the world. Is it the base of the pack? In the past. Okay, in the past we've got the Knight of Cups. This is a controlled knight. Knights are always moving forward. In the past he is in control, but he's also tentative. He can be a gentle knight, but he can be a little hesitant. Crowning is the Lovers, so this is difficult decisions that need to be made in regards to what direction China takes now that it's moving on from the workforce. This is China near future is being a little insecure, being protective of what they do have. This comes back to the tariffs. Oh dear, okay, and the immediate future is the Devil. Now this is unauthenticity. It can be greed and avarice, but it also means addiction and vice. But I think in this it's unauthentic. Surrounding that is the King of Pentacles, so it is the leadership and it's about the money. The hope and fear is the Queen of Cups will come to the fore. So the Queen of Cups, I mean, all queens are leaders in the same way as kings are leaders, but where kings are powerful and patriarchal, the queens are compassionate, respected, and they provide a security. So she is... she's an emotionally stable, intuitive, compassionate queen. So that's the hope and fear that China will move on from this unauthentic authoritarianism into an emotional, compassionate state. It'll take hard work and skill. So you've got the Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. Both pentacles are an earth power as well as work, as well as finances. But the Knight of Pentacles, and he's a slow and steady knight. He's diligent, he's reliable. So it'll take hard work. They'll reliably plod along. And then what will happen is that they will reach a new beginning where they are embracing the relationships and emotions. So rather than being this patriarchal, money orientated, they will become more relationship related in regards to, where did I see it? The globe, with new relationships. So here they are, new relationships. Not surrender, but joining forces with review and introspection. Yes, there will be some fighting. They will need to, they're reaping what they sow, but they need to consider the harvest. And again, another Pentacles, giving and receiving. And we finish with the Death card. Now, death doesn't mean death as is. It means authentic reform. So what I'm seeing with China, it's going through a period where, just like the UK, it's having to work out who it is in this new world order. It's going to have to work out how it wants to engage, and it will have this authentic reform. Again, not necessarily in a Western style, but in a style that will suit China itself. So that's, wow, okay, so that's 2 countries that are needing to work out who the heck they are and work with those around them to move into this new age, 2022. Pluto return on an auspicious day of the 22nd of February 2022. Pluto return occurs only every 250 years off the top of my head. I'm not an astrology nut, please correct me if I've got that wrong. Pluto is the period of dramatic change, heralding intellectual and emotional change throughout the world. If we think about 250 years ago, that's when Captain Cook was sailing around the coast of Australia. Australia's come a long way since then in a short space of time, and it is again the start of a new era for Australia, very much so. Now, very quickly, the Middle East. I only meant to do short readings on all these, and I've ended up doing full Celtic crosses, so sorry if this is going too long. Now, what's happened is obviously there's been a vacuum left in the Middle East when the Americans left Afghanistan. Iran, the UAE, Saudi Arabia and Qatar have stepped into that fold. Not a dominating leadership like what the US was, more of a relationship, aiding and bringing Afghanistan along on the journey style relationship. Not again what us in the West are used to. It's more of a respectful acknowledgement of the leaders of Afghanistan, of what Afghanistan culturally, historically is and was, and just providing mentorship and leadership and aid to Afghanistan. So I just want to overall get the feeling of the Middle East. Lebanon and Saudi Arabia are muttering at each other. There's always mutterings in the Middle East. It's who they are. If only we could just all get along. But just please, Meister. Few cards on the Middle East. Anything to be expected between now and the end of the year? The Middle East, anything we should expect between the now and the end of the year? Anything we should expect? Right, let's have a look. Okay, a solid foundation being built. Hard work being undertaken and a solid foundation. Challenged by a collective awakening. Have a look and see why that is actually a challenge. I think that's a positive, a collective awakening, a call to arms, and a new beginning. There will be decisions to be made, plans to be laid, but a beautiful new, have a look, a beautiful new future. Wheel of Fortune in the past. This is the closing of a chapter and the start of a new beginning, which would explain the US withdrawal. Six of Cups. Going back to the best of what was. Okay, near future, the Empress. So this is abundance and prosperity. Oh, the immediate future is the Devil again, which is what we got for China. Beware the unauthentic in the short term. And the King of Swords. So we had the King of Pentacles here. Now we've got the King of Swords. Just beware of the being chained to the unauthentic in relations to the logic and insight and truth. Just beware in the immediate future. of an authoritative figure. Actually, what I'm reading, what I'm seeing now, what I'm being shown is there is this inauthenticity at the moment, but it is going to be exposed by a strong leader with the truth. Hopes and fears, Queen of Pentacles. Again, Queens are compassionate, respected. The Queen of Pentacles is regional security. She's extremely practical, and she is a gentle mentor. Things will be revealed. He's bringing a message. Pages are all starting out on a new journey. He's bringing a revelation, but it's also a message of a new start, and it is the youth that will come to the fore. Surrounding that, Three of Cups, circles of support and strength. Oh, that's nice for the Middle East. So you've got your strength, and that's inner strength, that's compassionate power, and that is taking control. Just looking at the base of the pack, I don't know that there's actually anything relevant there at the base. It's not telling me it's relevant. So this is the Middle East with that new, I'm saying access of power, but it's not so much power. It's a new access of support. I mean, I have read multiple times on Afghanistan. Each time it's like, oh, geez, you know, it's pretty ghastly at the moment, but it will be right. So I'm still seeing that. I'm seeing with this access of support, the Middle East will become a lot more stable, a lot more secure. And once they're stable and secure, they can actually start to reach for financial security and emotional security for their people. So I'm quite pleased with that. May not be as we in the West would necessarily expect for it to be, but that is how things are done in the Middle East. They are a different historical culture than we in the West, and they will do what needs to be done for them. And so we have to respect that. Okay, last one, Australia, my home country. What do we see happening for Australia in the last 2 months till the end of 2021? We're all holding our collective breath, waiting for 2022. High vaccination rates in Australia, steady economy, weather's nice, we're entering summer. Had some nice good rains, the monsoons have arrived in the northern parts, which is bringing rain to the southerns. So aside from our government being climate deniers, the Queen of Cups has fallen out. Compassion. Compassion and emotionally stable. Australia is, as far as the world goes, we are a very stable country, stable government, stable workforce. It's not so much laziness, it's just that we, overall, the majority of us just tend to get on. We do what needs to be done. We get on and do it. We get on with our neighbours and our fellow country people. We're friendly. And when I say this, I don't mean everybody. Of course, there's always a few. But overall, the majority of us are just chilled, laid back, healthy, eat healthy, live healthy, think healthy thoughts, and leads to a fairly stable country. So, what is in the wind for Australia between now and the end of 2021. What is in the wind for Australia between now and the end of 2021? Okay, let's have a quick look. Queen of Wands. Again, you know, compassionate, respected. She is a self-aware, a confident figure with a plan and is inspiring. So despite our climate-denying government, Australia itself is an inspiring country. We are crossed by leaving what no longer suits us and moving towards a better future. I think a lot of this is that there has been an emotional and an intellectual shift in the populace away from climate change denying, away from the reliance on fossil fuels to a brighter and cleaner future. The government's just got to catch up. Knight of Pentacles, slow, steady, diligent, moving forward, financially secure, just steady as she goes for Australia. In the past, we've got our Page of Wands. Now, this is the youth of Australia. They're coming through with ideas aplenty. They are energetic messengers, and the youth of Australia are coming forward with ideas of what they want to see for their country going forward. Okay, Temperance crowning. Well, okay, good place to be, Australia, at the moment. So Temperance is all about moderation. She is a grounding, both physical and spiritual, and a rebalancing in the world. So what's happening with Australia is we are a moderate country, and we are finding ourselves more spiritually grounded, but we've always pretty much been grounded. Near future, okay, suspect this is us feeling betrayed by our government, sabotaged. We're just needing to leave this battlefield at the moment. So in the immediate future, we're going to have some difficult decisions. We've got some elections coming up. Our local council elections, our local government elections are coming up in December for New South Wales. We have a federal election next year, about the middle of next year, so within about 8 months. So we will have some difficult crossroads. We need to make some intellectual decisions about our future, and surrounding that, again, another Swords, the Four of Swords. We just need to retreat and reflect and understand as we before we reach our election. So at the moment we're intellectually reflecting on where we are as a country. Oh, okay, very exciting. Hopes and fears, the world. Now this means end of a cycle, a achievement, but it also means the unity of diversity in our world. In other words, acceptance of diversity, and it does mean the world. So what we're doing is we're looking at our place in the world, and we are accepting of the diversity of the world. New start with faith and courage. Page of Cups, a messenger, bringing forward an emotional message, also bringing forward revelations, exposing things that we may not have realised. But also the Page of Cups is creativity. So it is the youth. So what we've got is the new start of faith and courage being brought to us by the youth. And the Two of Wands again. So this is, again, making plans, choices to be made towards a brighter future. Followed by, so base of the pack, we've got Three of Wands. So because we are a small nation, we do look Internationally, we do consider ourselves part of the global community. We are not, we are patriotic, but we're not obsessively Australia or bust type thing. We realise that we are part of the greater collective. So our plans and passions for the future do include overseas, a new start for these plans, and communications. Page of Swords. So again, this is the youth exposing the truth as they see it, for the betterment of Mother Earth, which will bring us abundance and prosperity. Australia is so perfectly positioned to become a world leader in renewable energy, both in the intellectual technology of it and also in the creation and export of it. So the youth will be exposing the truth as we bring new abundance and prosperity to Australia. There will be some difficult decisions to be made, and new relationships to be formed. But here we have the Queen of Swords, which is the she is also encompassing of diversity, and she's perceptively direct, a compassionate leader who is all about providing security. And then the last card is Strength. Again, compassionate leadership, but inner strength. So that's very positive for Australia. Actually, it was quite positive for everybody, which was fabulous. Nothing terribly untoward. A couple of countries there, the UK and China, really needing to take this time to reflect on who they are, who they want to be, and how they're going to go about that. The two lovely two gemstones that care for my gilded Tarot Royale. But the UK and China needing to reassess who they are and their place in the world, and what is what they can do for themselves, to invigorate, to reinvent, to recreate who they are as countries and communities. So, on that note, I hope you all got something out of that. Any questions, put them in the comments below, and we will catch you later in the week. Okay. Love to everyone, and stay safe. Bye-bye.